Okay, hi. So we want to welcome Avery Zaretsky from Barstool Sports. Welcome.
We've got two Averys and Karsyn on the podcast today.
I literally am so excited.
Yeah, we do. It's a great name.
It is. Oh my gosh.
It's a good one. Happy to have you.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for joining us on the Hockey Girls.
Absolutely. I'm happy to be here. This is I always like whenever someone asks me to do a podcast, I'll say yes. Doesn't matter who. I don't care.
Oh,
I kind of love that.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. I just like I feel like I had a podcast in college, a Rangers podcast, and I invited everybody, and some people said no, some people said yes, and I felt like, well, if it was me, I'd probably always say yes. So now I've made it a pact that I will always say yes to people.
Oh,
I love that. Honestly, I was worried you would say no.
No.
Say no to Avery. You can't say no to
I
Avery.
know. We have the same name, so you kind of had to.
Yeah, absolutely. I would never say no to another Avery. It's like a pact. It's like a blood bond we have.
It is. Look at us. We're already best friends, and we just started.
A namesake bond.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing that you guys have in common, you guys are Rangers fans. Like, hella Rangers fans.
Oh yeah. Love that. You more so than me, but we'll get into that in a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it. Okay. So we found you through Spit and Chicklets, of course. But you also have a podcast, or you produce a podcast, excuse me, called Macro Dosing. Wow, I can't read. And 51 Strokes. So how did you get from like those two pods to Spit and Chicklets? If that's the flow of how it went.
Yeah. So when I started at Barstool, I didn't really do I didn't do much for Chicklets, but I was like helping out a little bit. I was helping out with Grinelli whenever he needed help. And then I met Caleb, who was doing the whole 51 Strokes thing, and I started with him. It went a little bit. It went for about a year. It actually just ended, so I don't do that podcast anymore. But I met PFT Commenter, who started macrodosing a little around when our radio deal was ending. I think it was in like October. I don't remember the exact month, but anyways, we started on that. He wanted me to be the producer, so I did that. And then I just started doing stuff, camera work for the Foreplay podcast, the golf podcast. And they really saw that I was able to do video stuff. And then when they would go on trips, they would need an extra video guy. So they would bring me. And then they just realized that I was like this crazy psychotic Ranger. And that they kind of needed to promote, especially now that they're good. If the Rangers weren't good, you probably wouldn't have even heard who I was. And so I owe it all to the team. But now it's been pretty fun being on the road with those guys, especially when I get a chance to chirp them when the Rangers keep winning. So it's good.
I love that. Oh yeah. So one thing that actually caught everyone's attention lately, of course, was all the playoff bets that you guys have going on.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How on earth did you come up with like Biz would wear your jersey or you would get thrown into the Hudson? Like I would never have offered that. I don't know what you were thinking. How did that happen?
Yeah, it's fun. So I guess they just like Biz must have just thrown it out there on the podcast. They're like, well, if the Rangers lose with Louis Domingue in net, Avery should be thrown the Hudson River. It was just like a hypothetical statement that he was just like, it was so bad, like something's bad should happen to him if that happens. And I was like, all right, like content is content. I guess I'll do it. Probably take 30 years off my life, but if the Rangers lost in the first round, what does it matter, you know? So I was like, I'll do it. But you gotta get something your way. So when the Rangers were down, I originally offered the jersey and he said no. And then the Rangers were down 2-1 and we were at the Hoboken house. And I was like, wait, like the bet's really not even that bad for him. Like it's way worse for me. Just like call him and just tell him he has to do it. So he called him on the stream and basically we forced Biz into saying yes. And then the Rangers won 3 straight and won the series. So that was fun.
Oh my gosh. That's so much fun.
Yeah,
I
think
love that it was just Biz's idea. He's just like, no, yeah, we'll just throw him
but
on
then he
Hudson.
wouldn't follow through.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I would never.
Yeah.
Like I was definitely more worried.
Yeah,
when I heard that was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking, but I guess it ended up good.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It ended in your favor, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sometimes the best things happen. You don't really think and you kind of just say yes and go with the flow. I think that's like my whole trajectory at Barstool. I've just said yes to pretty much everything, and that's how it's kind of gotten me to where I am now.
I kind of love that.
Good.
Yeah. But also, speaking of bets, I'm sure you saw at the Oilers game. What day was it? Sunday? Saturday.
Yeah, Sunday or Saturday.
One of those days. Biz shaved the top of his head.
Yep.
Yikes. Would you rather, I have to ask, would you rather have that haircut or like actually jump in the Hudson, like willingly?
That's a good question. It takes a long time to grow hair that I have now. God, I think I do the haircut. The Hudson's really bad. The Hudson's gross.
Hudson's bad. I would rather do a haircut than jump in the Hudson.
Yeah.
So
I could take like
a bad haircut. Don't tell Biz. It's such a bad haircut. He's taking it like a champ. Oh my God.
It's so weird because for some reason he like rocks it somehow. But like
I know
if it were to happen to me, I would just have to go into like hiding for 3 months. But if there was a video of me getting thrown in the Hudson River, I don't think people would like want to talk to me. You know,
you would like never recover.
Yeah, it'd be like infinite quarantine. Like people would just like not want to. I'd be like radioactive. No one would want to be around me.
Forget COVID. It's the Hudson.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
Got nothing on the Hudson.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, something that we think is actually really cool, and I didn't know this about you at first because I found you through Spit and Chicklets first. I had no idea about this, but you're literally a legacy Rangers fan. Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that. I don't know about me, but yeah, absolutely. Sure.
Yeah. It seems like it. It seems like that's an appropriate kind of title because it was, correct me if this is wrong, but it was your father and your grandfather who had like one of the most famous signs now ever. Says what did it say? Now I can die in peace when Rangers won the cup in 94. Yep.
So my grandpa's had season tickets since 1973. So next year will be 50 years for him. So, I mean, he had been watching the Rangers his entire life. He kind of fell in love with hockey, and like the season tickets was like the step up for him. And then when he had my dad and my uncle, they're twins, they fell in love with the Rangers, and it was like it's like the family thing. And they waited obviously all that time until 94. And then it happened that they couldn't think of anything else but just like how they could finally, like after all this waiting, especially for my grandpa who'd been watching the team much longer, how he could finally just like die in peace that they won. So they made the sign, my grandfather, my uncle, and my dad, and they were just like, if it happens, we're going to hold the sign up. And they didn't think much of it. Like they held the sign up, and like people were obviously the iconic picture with Nick Kypreos holding the cup and them in the background. It was in Sports Illustrated the next day.
That's amazing.
They didn't think anything of it. So they just they had connects gardens. The game ended. They went and partied with the team, and they left the sign there, not knowing what it was. And then they go home. They didn't even go home. They went straight to work. So they partied all night and they went straight to work. They get a call the next day from the Hockey Hall of Fame asking like where the sign is, like they want it, and they just couldn't find it. Like it's gone.
My God.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's actually really sad.
The fact that they went to work.
Yeah, I know.
That's the part that gets me. I'm like, they just were like,
I feel like you've done that.
I have.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks. It sucks what happened, but at the same time, it's just like they never would have known. But now it's like, yeah, I guess you can say that there's a legacy behind it. Like all the guys from the 94 team know them and they're friends with them. Stefan Matteau's a really good friend of ours now because of it. Just the whole team rallied around it. We ran into Nick Kypreos. So if you go on my Twitter, you'll see it. in that picture, he's holding the cup, and it's the sign. And the first thing he did when he found out it was my dad and my grandpa, he hugged both of them. He was like, "This is like blood almost. Like this is
Yeah.
something that we have together ever." So it was a really cool moment. Cool to see, and it meant a lot to my dad and grandpa. So it was awesome.
Oh, I'm sure.
I love that so
I mean,
much.
and the good thing is that picture lives on. The
It
sign
is.
may be gone, but the
That's
picture lives
crazy.
on. So that's something.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And how crazy is it to like know that and see that kind of make that picture like resurface now, especially now that the Rangers are in the Eastern Final, and now you're there watching it? Do you think you might have to make the sign if they make the final?
Ooh.
So in 2014, there was a lot of press about it because it was exactly 20 years since it happened.
Right.
They were on NBC. They were my dad, grandpa, and uncle were on NBC. They were all over local news, everything. And like there was the hype building up that it could happen again. And we were thinking about it, but the moment just has to be right. Like we don't want to think about it and overthink it and put something out. It'll kind of have to be spur of the moment, just like they thought of. They made signs all the time, but this is the one that kind of hit. And we don't want to force it, but we'll see. I mean, listen, they still got to get through Tampa. We'll see what happens.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's really cool. You've also officially been dubbed the Rangers guy by Wayne Gretzky himself. So like, tell us about that. What was that whole interaction like? Like, are you a fan of the nickname? I mean, I saw it in your Twitter bio, so it seems like you're a fan of the nickname, but walk us through that a little bit.
Absolutely, I'm a fan of the nickname. Anytime like the greatest hockey player of all time dubs you whatever, you just got to take it and accept it, whether it's good or bad. It was an awesome moment. We knew going in, they were interviewing Gretzky, and we showed up, and he was just the nicest guy ever. I keep telling people, like, they say don't meet your heroes, like he's the exact opposite of that. He's just the nicest guy in the world. And we hung out with him for 2 straight nights, and it was like very personal, and he told us a lot of awesome stories. He just the greatest guy ever. And the fact that he was like willing to say to me that he wanted a picture with me, like it meant a lot. It was really cool. And my dad was so jealous.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, how did your family react to that one?
I love
your
that.
dad and your. Oh wow.
He was happy for me, but I could tell he was upset.
So he gets to party with the cup, but you get to meet Wayne Gretzky. So there's a
Yes.
little bit
Yeah,
of, you know.
I'd switch that immediately. Give me the cup. I mean, like it was an amazing moment, but like the cup is everything to me, you know. I didn't get to personally watch Wayne play. Like I don't have as much of a connection to him as my dad does. I just know him as the greatest player ever. He's a great guy, but like for this team to win a cup would mean everything to me. So that's kind of where my mentality's at.
I love that.
We like it.
It's so true though.
I get it.
It is. So, but obviously Rangers are in the Eastern Final. It's a huge freaking deal. Were you surprised at all to see
Massive.
so far?
For sure. I mean, the expectations weren't low, but they weren't this high for this year. And at a certain point when they came back and beat Pittsburgh, and then they started to win against Carolina, it really became prominent that they were just like an undoubtable team. Like I couldn't sit there anymore and just be surprised. Like at this point, I wouldn't say it's expected, but it's just like, what can't they do? They've proven they can do everything that we've asked them to do. So now it's team of destiny mindset. They just got to go out and win games and do the same thing they've been doing all year. And who knows what'll happen? We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think the way that they're playing right now against Tampa is like sustainable? Because I know last game wasn't their best. They took the L, few bad penalties.
But they are ahead in the series.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Oh my God. I almost got in a fight with someone talking about it.
No, game 3 was not sustainable at all. You can't let up 50 shots a game. You're just not going to win, especially taking that many penalties. Tampa's obviously back-to-back champs. They know how to score on the power play. So you give them that, and they're gonna beat you every time. I don't care who you have in that. Even if I think you got the best goaltender in the world in there, it doesn't really matter when they're just bring you. So definitely not sustainable game. Last game, I think they played all right most of the game. They just kind of let it slip away, but Tampa wasn't gonna let themselves go down 3. You know, they got some pride in them. They've done it back to back. They know what it takes. So just regroup, and I trust the team. I think they've been really resilient all year, and they've shown up when they've needed to.
Definitely.
For
That's
sure.
so true. Resilience for sure. They've had it all season. So
Oh yeah,
definitely agree.
that last game really it wasn't bad necessarily, I think, but it was less than how they have been playing. So it's like you gotta take what you can. But I kind of felt like Tampa was gonna pull Vasilevsky at the last minute to try and tie it anyways. So I wasn't surprised.
Yeah.
Or not tie it, take the win.
I tweeted after the game. I said it was inevitable. I think the way they played, it was inevitable that they were gonna either lose or somehow squeak it out.
Yeah.
They did not.
What are your
For
thoughts
sure.
going into today's game? Are you like a little nervous? You're a little okay, like I don't know, or are you like, oh, we got this?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll always play it off cool, but I'm always nervous. I mean, once the puck drops, I'm like, shaking. My heart rate probably spikes up crazy. But right now, I feel pretty good. I feel, like I said, the resiliency and the faith that this team has given us. I have no reason to doubt that they're not gonna come out and just dominate tonight. So I always like our chances. Like, I don't bet on the Rangers, and people always ask like if they should, and I just give them the same answer. I just say I think they're gonna win. I don't know why the light just went off in here.
I was
gonna
say.
say. You're right. You're good.
Usually, if you like stand up and wave, hold on,
Are you in
I can hear you guys. There we go. Yeah, I'm in a conference room. Sorry. Okay.
Oh god.
No, good.
All
Sorry.
good. But yeah, no, I think they're gonna come out strong too. And Truba yesterday took the optional practice because I think he knows he was not the best. So I think that'll really help pay off today too. Yeah, it'll be good. But
So now that Avalanche are like confirmed in the final, what do you think? Should Rangers make it to the final? Let's say hypothetically, what are your thoughts, Avalanche Rangers? What do you think?
Hate thinking far ahead, but I will answer the question.
Fair enough.
I
don't
I
make
don't
it stress
think
you out.
Yeah.
No. It's not stressing me out. I mean, it's definitely something I think out in the back of my head. I don't think their goaltending is that great. I think the Rangers scoring's been a lot better recently. And if they let the Rangers get on the power play, it's going to be trouble for them. Special when you championships, and the Rangers have proven that they have some of the more elite versions of those in the league.
Yep.
For sure.
Totally agree.
I'm totally like
I'm like, knock on wood.
so
that
on
we
board
get all
with the
this.
Rangers.
Don't want to
I
jinx anything.
you don't know me, but I absolutely despise Denver.
Yeah, she really
So
does.
I'm
She's
not
got,
having
like,
a good time.
hatred.
I'm not having fun anymore.
I'm like,
one player wrongs you.
All right, there you go.
yeah, we
Yeah.
stand the Rangers in this house.
Yes, we do. Exactly. If the Rangers
Whatever
make the final,
whatever works.
Yeah.
Exactly.
the Rangers make the final, I told everybody, I'm like, I'm coming back to New York for a game or two. I can't miss that.
Yeah.
I lived in New
to.
York for a hot minute. I went to Rangers games all the time. I miss it. So
Have to.
Yeah.
Exactly. Got to make it
It'll-
happen.
yeah. So, and clearly Rangers made it all this way, and it's been so exciting. Like upset after upset, game 7. It's crazy. So I got to ask you one thing. Has Biz changed his mind at all about the Rangers, or is he still dead set on not liking them? Like, he's been very outspoken about it lately.
He's a big flip-flop guy. He'll say, like, he apologized for calling us fugazis, but then he's like, I hate the team and I hate their fan base. He's like, I'm rooting against them the entire way. So it is what it is. Biz is a good friend of mine and I love him. He's like the nicest person in the world, but it's war right now. Like, I put my team first. I've known the Rangers my whole life, not Biz. So right now it's not him. It's the team right now.
Yes.
I love that
Gotta
so
love the
much.
loyalty.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so
Yep.
true though. Like Biz is like the nicest dude ever. I met him at All Stars. She got a video
Yeah, I got
from him
No, I'm
because
just
she
kidding.
wasn't there. But no, nicest dude ever.
Yeah,
But
super nice.
yeah, Rangers all the way. I completely understand the logic there.
I get him with the flip-flopping though, because I've been there.
She's totally
I-
been
I do
there.
that.
But you didn't even entire round one. She's like, "Oh, this person made it. Okay, whatever."
Yeah, a little
it.
bit.
All right,
Yeah.
cool.
I'm like, all right, then. Cool.
Yeah. So now it's like die hard, pick a team,
Yeah.
and I think you're finally with the Rangers.
Yeah, I'm finally on the Rangers train.
We did it.
We finally made it.
Both Averys finally dragged Karsyn to
Kicking
the
and
Rangers.
screaming, but yeah.
Oh my gosh. But anyways, we finally got Karsyn on board with the Rangers.
Yes.
It took
That
two
was all.
Averys to do it,
Yeah, it really did.
but we did it.
That's great. Whatever works.
Exactly. So we
Love
have
it.
one last kind of like fun question for you. We always ask this of people that we bring on the podcast because we are from Vegas. Have you been to Vegas? And if you have, what's your favorite thing to do in town? But if you haven't, what's like a bucket list thing that when you come here, you're totally gonna do this?
So I've been to Vegas once. I went with the Foreplay podcast. We were there very short. We went from, where did we come from? I think we went from Oregon to Vegas and did a 1-day shoot there. So we had one night in Vegas. We had one night in Vegas, and we went out and we went to the Bellagio, which is like so nice.
Yes.
The nicest casino ever, especially on the Strip. We stayed at the M, which is a Penn casino, which is a company that owns bars.
I live
And,
right by them.
I really like.
there.
Yeah, the M is great. I have problems with the M. The room was really nice, and the downstairs was nice. But just being on the Strip's really cool. It's definitely something everybody, I think, once in their life has to experience. I enjoyed it a lot. You just gotta go and play. You gotta go in with a mindset of how much money you're willing to lose, and then you just go there and you have a good time, or at least try to.
There you go.
We went to
Do next time you're here?
what's that?
Anything you'd want to do like next time you're here that you didn't do already?
We went to Nobu. I forget. I think it was in the Bellagio.
Yeah.
Well, we went to Nobu, and there was a Monte Cristo cigar lounge in there, and I wanted to do it, but I didn't have time. Yeah, that's. I'm a cigar guy, so I definitely want to try that when I get
Definitely.
back. Go
I've
back
heard
to
about it.
Vegas.
Yeah, I've heard about it. So definitely recommend when you come back next time you're in town, whenever that is. Gotta make
Absolutely.
I love that. Oh my gosh. Well, I love talking Rangers, and she never wants to talk about the Rangers. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for coming on.
Absolutely. Anytime. If if the Rangers keep going and you want to have me on again, just you know where to find me.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Having her
Yeah.
outnumbered, done.
Yeah.
Easy.
I know. Oh man. I guess I'm not rooting for the Avalanche in the final.
you go.
No, you're not. It has been decided.
Yeah.
So we had so much. fun
Definitely
talking.
can't, or I won't come back on.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
He'll come back just to yell at you.
All right. I'll accept that.
That's
Fair enough.
perfect.
Yes.
But thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Seriously,
was like, "But
thank
you're
you
gonna
for.
talk."
I'm sorry, I got a little distracted there for a moment. Seriously, thank you for being on the podcast. We so appreciate
Yeah.
it. It's been so fun talking with you. Oh man.
Absolutely, anytime. Like I said, great time.